guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to do another tutorial on my makeup looks. If you would like to see how I do my makeup, stay tuned in this video. If you do not like makeup, if you want to criticize my makeup, please click out now. So for that first step, I'm just basically filling in those eyebrows. Basically freehand because you're going to be going in and fixing your mistakes and cleaning that eyebrow up to where they're both even and where you like it. So what I'm using on that eyebrow is LA Girl brow gel basically. So I'm just blending that out with a brush until I'm happy with those results. In the start of your eyebrow, you might want to brush up so that it can look like a feather-ish effect. You don't want the beginning of the eyebrow too harsh because it's just gonna look too harsh basically, I guess. Shout out to this freaking camera. It's so good and clear. Like honestly, you can see all my blemishes. I'm not too happy about that, but you can really tell the details of the video. Like I said, I was going to go into full details of what I'm using exactly on each step. Like I said, LA Girl brow gel, that's what I'm using on my eyebrows. But you can use black eyeshadow, brown eyeshadow, whatever dark shade you get your hands on. Basically, you don't have to use the brow gel. You can use the brow pencil, brow gel, eyeshadow. And as long as it's blending in like how you want it, then you're good. So for this next step, I'm going in with ColourPop concealer. I don't know the shade, but you might want to go a shade lighter than your skin or 2 shades lighter. I say if you're doing a light eyeshadow, you might want to do a light base so that color can pop more. And if you're doing something simple or neutral colors, you might want to do just 1 shade or the shade of your foundation. So for me, I'm doing orange, brown-ish. So it's just 1 color lighter than my skin tone. So for this next step, I'm basically blending in that concealer because you don't want any harsh lines or anything like that. So it looks really nice when it's blended in. Like I said, you can see the right from the left. As you can see, the concealer on the right and the left, that it's already blended in. So for this step, I am going in with the Jaclyn palette. I'm basically using the lightest brown that I see because you basically just want to add those colors to where you're just building it up and it looks really blended and meshed together so well that it won't be harsh, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm basically building up my color to where it goes from the lighter to darker, or however you want to do your makeup. You can even do dark to light. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you want to do that day, however you're feeling, just do it. So I'm basically just building up that color with a Morphie 9B palette. I think that's my favorite palette because it's like a brown bronzy look and I love those colors. So for this step, as you can see, I'm using that Jaclyn palette by Morphie. I just love that one. Those colors are just so me. I'm adding a little bit of orange to my my cut crease basically, because the next step I'm basically just going to be cutting my crease, and the orange is going to look so sharp and so nice when it comes to adding that next color. So like I said, I'm cutting my crease with ColourPop concealer. And be careful with this step. It took me a long time to master this. I don't know. It's just so tricky. You have to put your elbow on like a table or something, or you have to have a steady hand. Right here, my hand was a little bit shaky because I don't know. I was nervous. I was going to the dentist. I don't know. I went to the dentist and he was like, "Why you got your makeup done?" So be very careful on this step. You want both of those eyelids to match. If your cut crease is smaller than the other one, you can tell, like from pictures and people, when you look down, you can honestly tell, and it just looks bad. So get it as even as possible. If you mess up, just go higher and higher. I looked up, as you can see, like I looked up to see like if there'll be any creases or anything, like on the left side. I don't know, it's really hard to explain that part, but just get it as even as possible. So like I said, blend that in to where it doesn't look harsh. So I don't know, you'll see. It's basically just blending everything in to make it look meshed together well. So for this step, I'm basically going in with like a glittery eyeshadow, whatever your taste is, just go in with that. I basically just put it in on top of the concealer. Sometimes I do set that lid, but for this day, I wanted it to be really bold and really in there, like it wouldn't fade away as quick as if you set it with baking powder. Sometimes if you're doing a really, really natural look, a no makeup look, you can do that. But for this look, I wanted the color to pop. So you can see like the lid is different from, what do you call it? The cut crease, I guess. I don't know what you call that, but basically doing both sides until you're happy with the results. You can also do glitter. You can keep it how it is. Like I said, you can set it with the baking powder. It's just whatever look you're going for that day. It really just all depends. So for this step, I am doing my eyeliner, which, oh my god, this day was just so hard. Like it would not come out how I wanted it. So make sure you take your time on your eyeliner. As you can see, I did both sides, and I did speed up the process because it's just so tedious and it takes so long. Like, I don't know, you have to be kind of experienced with the eyeliner to do a winged look. So make sure if you're a beginner, don't try that winged look unless you, like I said, watch a tutorial or practice or something like that. So basically going in on the other eye, doing the same look, and it's really hard to get that eyeliner to look, I feel like it's never going to be the same. And I did do my lashes and my liner. I finished all that off camera because, like I said, I kept messing up. I don't know, like this day was just so hard for me to get that eyelash on. The eyelash you see me doing right now, oh my god, it took like 15 minutes. I also wanted you guys to see how I did my eyelashes because there is a technique to it, and I will do another video for you. For this step, I am just covering up my blemishes because I have a lot of acne scars, so I just want to cover those up. And so I'm putting a little concealer over that, and as you can see, that is the Tarte creaseless concealer. This is my first time trying this concealer, and let me just tell you, it covers up everything. Like, it's really thick, so if you don't like that thick full coverage feeling, do not get this concealer because let me just tell you, it covered up every scar I had, everything. And those pictures on Instagram, you're not going to see any of it because the iPhone 11, I feel like it covers up a lot for you as well. So for this next step, I'm basically going in with the Tarte Double Duty foundation. I really like Tarte's foundation and concealer because, like I said, it's really full coverage and it gets all those blemishes. So right here, I'm basically just blending it in. It's really no technique to it. Just pat your skin. That's it. I like to get into my neck because I want it to blend into my skin so that you don't see where the foundation stops and where it starts, basically. So I'm also getting that hairline because same thing, you don't want it to see where it stops and starts. So there's no technique to it, but make sure you have a damp beauty blender. And I don't know, this is just an extra step that I wanted to do. This is the ColourPop concealer. I'm basically going in because I wanted to lighten up those spots. It wasn't light enough for me, basically, because I'm light skinned and I was going out in the daytime. So for this next step, I am baking my face. And a lot of you guys know this step from Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. And it honestly, it really makes a difference on a full coverage look. You don't want to do this on a natural look, basically because it's so like bold. And this is kind of a bold look. I do bold looks all the time, but for this I want to take pictures, so I'm basically just gonna set my face with that baking powder. And it is, what is the the baking powder is Makeup Revolution in the color Banana Deep, and it goes with like my skin tone, basically like a yellowish skin tone. And I'm going in with a powdered foundation so that I can blend that out. I'm done baking. Like I said, I am editing this video, so don't do it as fast as I'm doing it, because it's just gonna come out harsh, and like those lines are gonna be so bold to where it's gonna be like, oh, look at her makeup. You see where it starts and ends. So you don't want that. So I'm basically just brushing out that baking powder and blending that in. I'm going in with e.l.f. Constantly Bronzer, and I'm basically bronzing out that contour. I didn't do any cream contour because I feel like it was daytime and the look was kind of getting a little harsh, so I stopped doing the cream contour because I'm a cream contour type of person. So I'm basically just going in with that bronzing out my face. And the next step, I'm basically just gonna do a little bronze on my nose so it looks a little slimmer, because your girl is gaining weight. So for this step, I'm just blending out those lines and making everything mesh together well, so that in the daytime nobody's like, dang, she got on a lot of makeup. So I'm just blending out that nose and under that lip, so my lip gloss is bold and popping. So highlight time, make sure you do a light highlight in the daytime, and at night you can do the boldest highlight you want because you're at night, you want to be glowing in the dark. But for this look, I'm doing a really light highlight, which I love because it doesn't look too harsh, but like you can tell I have some highlight on. So I'm going underneath my eyelids with the Morphie 9B palette. Just blended it out. I forgot the color of it, but that whole little palette I just really love. You can use any color you guys want, and it's gonna be a nice look. So for this next step, I'm basically just putting on a little mascara on my lower eyelash, and you can really tell the difference if you don't put on mascara and eyeshadow on that lower lash line. It just looks so naked underneath your eyelid with those bold lashes. So that's the reason I do it. It just makes a huge difference. So for this next step, I'm basically going in with the lip liner. It's Nabi Natural in the color Natural. And I'm basically just lining out those lips. And so right here, I did go in with the darker shade lip liner because the one before Natural by Nabi, it was a little too pink, so I wanted to darken it up. And as you can see, this looks better on me than that. So, and then here goes a little lip gloss moment. Is my favorite with the little facial spray. And there's the look, ladies. I'm so dramatic, but I love you all and thank you for watching.